Hello everyone, and welcome back to another YouTube video. As you can see, I have moved around the whole studio. I basically flipped the room, so I put the desk over on this wall instead of on that wall where it was before. I told you guys it was gonna be a work in progress for quite a while. Speaking of work in progress, I just spent the last like 3 days working on this. This guy right here is a Patchbay, and I have wanted a Patchbay for quite a while now. The idea of a Patchbay is that you just keep all your gear plugged into the back, and then you can route any of the gear in your room to other gear using these little patch cables on the front. And when I put it like that, it makes it sound really simple, but I can assure you, it is anything but simple. Hold on, texting a guy about a lawnmower. Anyways, I've never really been able to justify buying a Patchbay because it's just like a thing that you plug other things into. And they can get pretty expensive sometimes, like certain Patchbays are over $100. Even the cheaper Patchbays are like 70, 80 bucks. And it's not really an exciting piece of gear, it's not flashy or fancy or anything, but it's just a nice quality of life thing. So the other day I swung by this really cool pawn shop that's near our house, probably the best pawn shop in OKC if you ask me, and lo and behold, he had 2 completely unopened Patchbays. And they were from Proco, the brand that makes the Proco Rat 2. He had it priced at like 85 and I was like, hey, would you do 60 on it? And he did 60, so I bought the Patchbay. But the problem is, I have no idea how to use a Patchbay. I've never had one before, and it's always been kind of a mystical thing to me. I've watched every single Patchbay video on YouTube just trying to wrap my head around it, and I eventually realized that it's one of those things you just have to have hands-on experience with. So I went into this whole process of making a list of all the gear in my studio that I want to be able to route to other things, and I made this absolutely absurd looking diagram. I was doing pictures and drawings and things, and I'm just kind of patching everything in on the floor with the cables that I have available. Oh my word. And I realized that I was pretty much short by like 5 cables. Currently a work in progress. Yes, I am losing my mind. Yes, I spent like $60 on cables, but it's gonna be so cool once everything's patched in and I can plug stuff into other stuff. So yeah, I ended up spending like an ungodly amount of money on cables. I knew I should have bought more cables when I worked at Guitar Center. But yeah, eventually once all the cables and everything came and I plugged everything up correctly, I started testing the signal routing and different stuff, and miraculously somehow, everything was pretty much routed the way that it should have been. Okay, I think we're done here. Yeah, there we go. It's a real organized setup. I think the biggest thing to help with this is making sure that I had a diagram, because if you don't think about this a lot and plan it out properly, it is not gonna go well for you. So I'm not gonna do a full explanation because that would just take way too much time and nobody would watch this video. And I'm also gonna do a full video on how to use a Patchbay and how Patchbays work and everything. But for now, it's important to know that everything on the top row is an output and everything on the bottom is an input. The signal flows down like a waterfall, so the output of whatever's on the top is gonna go into the input of whatever's on the bottom. And you want your Patchbay to mostly work fine as it is without even plugging anything into the front. So all these blue ones you see right here are all of the inputs on my audio interface. I don't know if you can see it, but the red over here is the output of my mixer. These 3 reds are inputs on the mixer, so I can put things into the mixer and have them go out of here and into the audio interface. I know it's kind of dark, but these 4 blue ones up here are the outputs of my audio interface. What this means is that I can send audio out from my interface and then maybe in through my guitar pedals right here, and then I can go out from the pedals and in to the mixer, which the mixer is routed to the interface, so this will automatically go into the interface. If that seems kind of complicated to you, that's fine. It's because it is super complicated. So the amazing thing of having everything routed to a Patchbay is that I can connect anything to anything. There's basically an endless world of possibilities of things that I can do with this Patchbay now. Hypothetically, if I have enough patch cables, I can record drums into the mixer and then take the output of the mixer, run them through my pedals, and then take the pedals and run them back in through the interface, so I have built-in effects when I record drums. Another thing that I did, this tape deck that Coleman gave me is actually also patched into the Patchbay, so I can automatically print audio from the DAW onto tape and then back into the DAW again. Another weird thing that I'm doing is I have a guitar cable that's patched directly into the Patchbay, and then that goes into my pedals and the pedals go out into the amplifier. The reason I did this instead of just plugging in my pedals and amp normally is so that 99% of the time it's set up so I can record guitar with my pedals normally, but if I want to, I can actually send audio into the pedals, and instead of routing that to the amp, I can route it back into my audio interface. I know, it seems like very complicated stuff, and instead of getting too deep into all the nerd stuff and the technicalities for this video, I think we're just gonna try to make a song while utilizing the Patchbay as much as possible, just to kind of test out the workflow a little bit and see if everything works well. Before we do that though, I have to go buy a lawnmower. Okay, I actually bought the lawnmower, and then I mowed the lawn, then I made lunch, then I ate my lunch while watching a YouTube video, and now it's time to make a song. Let's grab a guitar, and we should be able to simply plug this thing in, then power on the amp, and now, perfect. And you're probably like, cool, that's what it's supposed to do. But I just love the fact that this guitar is going into the Patchbay, then out of the Patchbay, into the pedals, back into the Patchbay, and then into the amp. I know, it's super nerdy, but I love it. All right, we gotta figure out what we want to play here. All right, so we're gonna open up FL Studio. We're also gonna go ahead and power on the mixer. Oh, I also labeled all this too. That's one thing I forgot to mention about the Patchbay is that I just made my own custom labels with construction paper because there was no way that I was gonna spend $10 on console tape. Also, I did order more patch cables. Maybe they're here. I thought they were, but they're not. These are pants that Kathy ordered. I ordered more patch cables because, so the ones that I got are 1-foot cables. Let's say I want to take this guitar and plug it into insert 1 of my interface. Well, it doesn't reach. Can't do it. So I ordered some 1.5-foot cables and hopefully those will work. But I'm just gonna keep these short ones because they work for basically everything besides like long distances. Right now though, we're just gonna take this little microphone and place it on the amplifier. And then inside FL Studio, if we do insert 1 and 2 here, and if I kick the microphone, you can see the mixer is just automatically routed to insert 1 and 2. So the only maybe downside of this whole recording method is that there are so many levels of the gain staging. I have to set the levels on the guitar, and then the pedals, and then the amp, and then the audio interface, and then the mixer. All right, so that'll be like a verse sort of thingy, and now this will be chorus. You actually cannot convince me that the DS1 is not the greatest distortion pedal of all time. Okay, that's a lot of rhythm guitar. Let's see if we can do some melodies now. The timing was kind of bad, but we can fix that. Oh, it actually wasn't even that bad. Never mind. We'll do some clean strums too. Actually, we need a thin pick for that. Let's open up the pick box. This is in the wrong spot. A melody just popped into my head. That was it right there, man. That was it right there. Okay, now for some chorus lead guitar. Pretty cool, guys. That's pretty cool lead guitar. Yeah. Okay, guys, we have recorded so many much guitars right now. Let's go ahead and turn on the guitar amplifier, but I think for now we are going to record drummings. Yes. So this is gonna be the first drum recording that I do with this setup. First thing we're gonna do though is we're gonna turn off this microphone, and then we're gonna turn on all the blue ones, which are the drum microphones. And these are uneven for some reason. Let's do a sound testing. Okay, are you ready for the sound testing? I guess this is the one problem with the drums facing this way, is that I have to put the headphone cable all the way over here. Alright, let's just record honestly. I feel like we're pretty much good to go. I don't even know if this will be a cool angle or shot or anything, but here you go. Not bad, not bad, not bad. I recorded a little more than I needed to, but that's fine. Okay, it needs some work, but it's alright. Maybe let's get some shaker in there, if we can find my shaker. Found it. Alright, we got shaker. Now we're gonna do bass guitar. What I'm gonna do for the bass here, I will show you. We're simply going to take this guitar output and put it into mixer input number 9. Now if we plug this guy in, you should hypothetically be able to hear bass. So we're gonna go ahead and put a tuner on this guy, if I can find it in this massive wall of plugins. Here we go. Let's get you over here. Let's get you a little view of the mixer, huh? So this one right here, number 9, is the one we're working with. We're gonna turn off all the drum channels for now. So what we're gonna do with this right now is boost some of the low frequencies. We'll actually bring out a little bit of the high frequencies as well. And then we'll do a little bit of a high mid boost around like 2K. We'll blow some of the dust off of this thing. Wait, is that the right channel? No, that's the wrong channel. Hold on. And now we're just gonna record some bass guitar. Okay, we have bass. Great vibes, great times. Awesome swag. Let's see about the keyboard. Why don't we do that? So this thing back here, the Casio CT6000, which I will make a video about at some point. I've been saying that for probably a year now. I have it automatically going into mixer channels 11 and 12, but I can route these to the audio interface, or I can route them to the pedals if I want to, or whatever I want to do with it. But let's hear how this even sounds. In order for the keyboard to actually be in stereo, I have to pan one to the left and one to the right. Almost kind of forgot to do that there. Let's see how that sounds. Okay, let's get some other stuff in there. Hold on. Forgot to play the track. This is not an efficient recording method. It wasn't recording, and I'm totally fine about it. Actually, I don't even mind at all. I want like a little broop. Can I get like a little broop in there? That was exactly what I wanted. Oh, that sounds magical. Oh, that's so good. Perfect. Okay, let's try to do some fun little synthy stuff with this guy. What we're gonna do here is a little crazy. We're gonna power that on. That's not crazy, but the crazy part is this. We're gonna go from the mini log into the guitar pedals. Then we go out of the pedals and into mix number 9. And this hypothetically should allow us to use the pedal board with the mini log. Oh yeah, it works. We gotta change some settings on the mixer though. First things first, it's coming way too hot. Second thing second, we have too much boost in all of the frequencies. I am gonna do a little bit of a low cut though, because we don't really need all these low frequencies. Let's get a patch going. Okay, that seems fine. Maybe some lo-fi? Oh, not that. I wanna run it through this thing, but I haven't made a video about this yet, so we're gonna have to wait on that. There's a little bit of latency, but we're just gonna kind of have to work around that. Okay, let's just get a simple sine wave in here. Okay, we're currently trying to sync up the delay with the tempo. That's about as close as we're gonna get it, I think. I messed up the last note, great. What we're going to do now is a fun little vibe, fun little experiment. We're gonna run some stuff through tape. Okay, we're completely scratching that idea, sorry. That's just too complicated to try to figure out right now. Okay, so that is pretty much gonna do it for me in this one here today. I know this is a little bit of a random one, but I just kind of wanted to test out the workflow with the Patchbay and with the new studio configuration and everything too. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Stay tuned for the full like Patchbay tutorial video thing. Also, if you like this song, make sure to check it out on Bandcamp. I appreciate you all watching, and I will catch you in the next video.